You ever notice how some teams, they just CLICK, like they're unstoppable?
Yeah.
It's not magic, though, right? It's about building that teamwork, making it work. And that's what we're diving into today. We're going deep on building, or really, it's more like growing a seriously effective team.
Mm-hmm.
We've got PL06 Build a Team as our roadmap for this deep dive.
Okay.
And just so you know, we're not talking about those cheesy team building exercises here. This is about the nitty-gritty, the stuff they don't always tell you that makes a team hum.
What I find interesting about PL06 is it gets that team building. It's not like you check a box and you're done. It's got to change as your project does, you know?
So true. So how do we do that? How do we make sure our team's got what it takes right from the start?
It's like, imagine you're planning a road trip, right?
Hey.
You wouldn't just like hit the gas and hope for the best. You'd make sure you've got the right vehicle, a map. Exactly. Snacks for sure. With a team, it's about knowing the terrain of your project, what you're aiming for, the bumps in the road, and making sure you've got the right people, the right skills in the car.
So it's like we're putting together a team of specialists, each with their own unique thing they bring to the table.
Exactly. And that's where appraising stakeholder skills is huge. Now, I know stakeholders, it sounds kind of formal, right? But it just means anyone who's got skin in the game.
Yeah.
Your team? Yeah. But also clients, managers.
The people who sign off on the budget.
Them too. Getting what skills they have, how much they can impact things, what they expect. That's all key.
Okay, so it's bigger than just the day-to-day team. It's like the whole ecosystem.
Exactly. PL06 actually has this cool tool. They call it a stakeholder skills matrix. It's how you map out who's got what expertise, who's got clout, who makes the calls.
Ooh, I like it already.
It's like having X-ray vision into your team. You see the strength, the blind spots before they trip you up.
Wish I'd had that on my last project. We were flying blind there for a while. But, okay, you got your team figured out, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
then there's the whole other side of it. Resources.
Right, because it's not just about the who, it's the what, right. And PL06 gets really specific here, which I appreciate.
So we're talking more than just making sure there's enough coffee to go around.
Way more. Think software, budget, even just making sure the right people are free at the right times. PL06 is all about making sure you don't overlook anything on the resource front, because trust me, even a small thing can snowball.
Don't remind me. One project, we totally underestimated the time for testing. Pushed everything back.
See, and that's exactly why this matters. PL06 makes you think ahead, like what could go wrong. They even talk about doing simulations, playing out different scenarios. That's smart, right?
Super smart. Like giving your project a test drive before you hit the highway. It's like you can have the most amazing map, the coolest car, all the snacks.
Right.
But if your driving skills are rusty, you're still going to have a bumpy ride.
Totally. And that's where keeping your team's skills fresh, making sure they can handle whatever comes up, that's huge. And PL06 is great for this. They've got a whole section on how to keep those skills sharp.
All right, so lay it on me. What's the secret sauce? How do we make sure our team's not just coasting, but actually, leveling up during the project?
Well, one thing that's really helped me is building in feedback, but like all the time. It doesn't have to be some big formal thing, just checking in regularly, a quick chat after a milestone, even just making it clear people can speak up, share what's working, what's not.
Oh, I love that. Because it's so easy to just get tunnel vision, right? Charge ahead to the next thing without stopping to breathe, to think about what we've learned.
Exactly. Those little pauses, they're where the magic happens. You can spot if someone's struggling, if there are skills we need to brush up on. PL06 actually talks about retrospective analysis, sounds fancy, but it's just looking back at how things went, figuring out what we can do better next time.
See, that's the kind of stuff I can get behind. Practical, no jargon required.
Right. It's about action, not just words.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once you know where the gaps are, it's time to fill them right. PL06 suggests a skills inventory. Basically, figuring out who's good at what and where we can do some cross-training, bring in an expert if we need to.
Ooh, cross-training. Yes, I am all about that. It's like in, what was that movie, The Martian? Remember how they had to use all their different skills to survive?
Exactly. And PL06 has this great example, a project where they had to switch gears, go from traditional marketing to like all digital really fast. Could have been a disaster. But the project lead, they just cross-trained their team, got everyone up to speed on the new stuff.
Love it. Turning a problem into like a team-building exercise.
Exactly. But then there's the flip side. What happens when you can't just like learn your way out of a problem? Like when someone who knows everything leads the team.
Oh, man, the dreaded brain drain. Every project manager's worst nightmare.
For real. But PL06 has some good tips here. And it all starts with something we should all be doing anyway. Documentation.
Music to my ears. Seriously, though, I've seen projects go sideways because that crucial info, it's all up in someone's head and then poof.
Gone, right?
Right.
Like trying to find the recipe when grandma didn't write it down. But PL06, they're big on documenting everything. Processes, decisions, even those crazy ideas you toss around in meetings.
So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time.
Exactly. It's like building a project knowledge base. Everyone's in the loop. And hey, speaking of sharing knowledge, don't underestimate mentorship either. PL06 really stresses that.
Oh, mentorship, that's huge. It's one thing to read a how-to, it's another to have someone show you the ropes, you know?
Totally. It's about passing on those like unspoken rules,
Yeah.
the stuff you only learn by doing. I remember when I was starting out having a mentor, that made all the difference.
100%. It's like that saying, experience is the best teacher, but even better if you don't have to learn everything the hard way, right?
Right. And that all ties into team continuity, which PL06 is also big on. It's about thinking ahead, like what happens when someone goes on vacation or a new person joins?
Because that can throw a wrench in things if you're not ready.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
But PL06 suggests having like a system for everything. Onboarding new folks,
Yeah.
making sure there's a plan for when someone moves on.
So it's not a scramble every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They even talk about having a set onboarding process, making sure new people know what they're doing, who to go to for help. Makes that transition way smoother.
Oh, for sure. No more awkward first day jitters. So basically what we're getting at is PL06 Build a Team. It's not just about assembling a bunch of talented people. It's about creating an environment where they can, actually do their best work together.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to wrap things up, building that dream team, it's not a one and done thing. It's like you're always tweaking, always growing.
Totally. It's a journey, not a destination.
Well said. So here's a little something to think about. What's one thing, just one, that you can take from this deep dive and actually use?
Yeah, what's going to make a difference for your team?
Maybe it's that stakeholder skills matrix. Maybe it's just being more intentional about documentation. Whatever it is, take that step. Make that dream team a reality.
And hey, let us know how it goes. Hit us up on social media. We love hearing your stories.
Until next time, happy collaborating, everyone.